Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. It is Street Talk with Loretta Rose, and we're on location at Tree of Life Healthcare. This place is not only providing health service in the community, but it is a ministry within the community. So I am so excited to share with the community because many of you have heard of Dr. Clyde, but today we're getting a chance to sit down with Dr. Lowell Clyde and also to see what all the different services that are being provided here, and he's going to give us a tour. So welcome to the show, and thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be a part of your show, and thank you again for coming out and allowing us to share who we are with your viewers. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, you have been providing services in the community for a couple years now here in this area. So let everyone know how long.
Well, we've been here 4 years and providing primary health care and also vision, and we farm out dental, but mostly we see patients with their primary health care needs, and we do vision as well.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Clyde, I want to know, and I've had an opportunity to kind of hear your background story, and some wonderful people had talked about you and were saying you need to meet him. And I've had an opportunity to see one of your health fairs that you jointly come together with other clinicians in the community as well, and it was a great success. People walked away was very, very blessed. Dr. Clyde, when did this vision come to mind? Because you're not only providing service, medical service for people that need service, but you're going beyond. And it's like you're God sent. I'm just going to be real. And that's how people feel about you. So when did the vision start?
The vision started probably about 10, 12 years ago. When my wife came home and shared a story with me about a young child that was diagnosed with sinus infection. And of course his grandmother was his guardian and on a fixed income, and decided she'd wait to get her income come in to get his prescription filled. And in the meantime, that child, did not make it because of an infection that infected his brain as well, and because she couldn't get his prescription in time. And that thing just bothered me for weeks on end. And just one day, leaving the campus after having lunch with my wife, passed by Bucks Ice, if you're familiar with Columbus, and bright sunny day, and out of frustration just said, Lord, somebody do something. And all the voice came back and said, you do it. And I said, okay, Lord, I'll do it. Give me the business plan. Because Habakkuk said, write the vision, make it plain so those that really can run with it. And we did that, and shared it with some individuals in our community. And we did open up a place in Columbus Square Mall before they closed, but when we did that, I didn't realize that the mall was closing. So we set that aside for a while, and so about 4 years ago, it was time to move forward again. And I shared the vision with the CEO at the time here at Columbus Regional, and he offered us a position here on campus. And we've been here ever since. And God has blessed us. We walked into a basically empty building, but because of those who took hold of the vision, begin to help us not only furnish the building, but also provide care for our patients, because we are designed to meet those needs of patients that have no health insurance and the underserved. And that's both here in West Georgia and East Alabama.
Awesome.
And so we see patients as far as way as Troop and LaGrange, as far south as Lumpkin and Buena Vista, Casita, and we even have a family come over from Old Main. And of course on the Alabama side as well, Phoenix City, Russell County, places like that as well. And so we're here, and again, for us it's ministry. We believe that we said that our mission is medical, but our purpose is to be a living demonstration of the love of God, to teach of Jesus Christ.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love it. We have some patients here today, and they have committed to share with us on camera because they have some very unique stories. And I think it's wonderful for the community to see, what's really, really happening here. It's one thing hearing about it, but when you see it, that right there really just hits home. There are a lot of other people, and I get a chance to talk to people on the streets all the time, dealing with healthcare issues. and everyone is not as fortunate as others to have it.
That's correct.
Those that have it sometimes don't realize the blessing that they have
Right.
until you don't have it. Today, help us to understand who we're going to be talking to, and they have some unique stories as well.
Yes. Well, we're going to be talking with Chelsea Lambert. She's a lady that came with us about 4 months ago and suffered with a hernia and didn't have any health insurance and had gone to both emergency room, but they was telling her that they really couldn't do anything less the hernia rupture. And we said, we don't want that to happen. So we went to work on her behalf and talked with a good friend of ours at the clinic here, Dr. Goodchild, who's also volunteered doing our annual health fair, asked me about doing surgery. And of course, we got with Piedmont as for the financials, and was able to get her surgery. So, it's wonderful to see this child, this young lady.
Right.
I could have child because she's about the age of my daughter.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That been in pain for almost 2 years, a year and a half, and now to see her today and her quality of life is so much better.
Praise
and
God.
she's smiling, she's happy, and ready to take on life again.
Praise
And
God.
we'll also talk with McGee. He's a young man, a sickle cell patient. That his job came to an end. Didn't have any health insurance. Was going to Grady, I believe he said, for his health needs with concerning sickle cell patients, because those in Columbus, sometime the nearest place was Atlanta.
Wow.
And so we have also worked with the Sickle Cell Association of the Lower Chattahoochee region. They have an office space here, and so we want to be able to help those patients. So he's going to share his testimony, what we're doing for him here at Tree of Life, and then of course Pastor Willis, who has some issues with his medications, and we're able to get those. And we do have an in-house pharmacy. We don't sell medication, but we do have those available for patients in our clinic that at no cost to them. That we will assist them as well.
Dr. Clyde, I need you to repeat that. Did I just hear you say you don't sell medication?
No, we do not. We
Wow.
the thing is that if you see a patient, you diagnose that patient, give them a prescription. If they can't afford it, can't pay for it, where are we? In the same place. And so one of the things we wanted to do was be able to provide those medications for those patients. And if we don't have it in-house, we look at the full-auto list or free list, and if that don't work, we try to get them on a maintenance medication program through one of the pharmaceuticals. We can get that to them on an annual basis at no cost in a lot of cases.
Oh, wow. Well, we're excited about getting a chance to talk to some of the patients that are here at Tree of Life Healthcare, which is in Columbus, right across the street from Piedmont Hospital. So you're on the same campus as Piedmont
Yes.
as well, right? So also you're going to give us a tour as well.
We are.
Because I want the community to see, because I've had a tour when I came in, and I said, first of all, I did not know this place was over here. And it's nice, it's huge, and it is so welcoming for everyone that comes through the door. And you can tell that the presence of the Lord is here.
Thank you so much.
You can tell it. And I'm excited about the community getting ready to see some of the testimonials that has come out of Tree of Life Healthcare. You've heard about it, but now we're bringing it to the camera so you can see what's happening. I'm talking with Dr. Clyde. We are here at Tree of Life Healthcare, which is in Columbus, right across the street from Piedmont Hospital. Stay tuned. You're watching Street Talk with Loretta Rose here on cable TV. All right, now we're talking to Chelsea Lambert. And you're a patient here at Tree of Life?
Yes, ma'am, I am. I have been since early 2019. It's been wonderful.
Okay, all right. Well, first of all, do you live in Columbus?
Yes, ma'am.
area?
I've been a resident here for most of my life. Born in Miami, but we have resided here for, 10, 12 years.
Okay, all right. Well, I heard you have a very unique story. Do you mind sharing it with us?
I don't whatsoever. I have hopes that it will help someone else in certain circumstances or other unhealthy predicaments reach out and find the help that they need. In late 2018, I was in a car accident with a drunk driver who hit me head-on collision, a friend of mine and I, and the seatbelt is what created, we believe, the inguinal hernia in my lower pelvic bone. And it slowly grew, and you can have a hernia for your whole life. A lot of people have them, don't even know about it, and you can have it as long as it doesn't disrupt the quality of life, as long as you don't have any pain or anything like that, which I didn't undergo that until the accident. When I met Pastor Clyett, I was directed to him from Charles Miller, my attorney and a good friend of both of ours, and he gave me hope that this was a place that would help me. And when I came in here, I didn't have much hope at all. I thought that I was a lost cause, and I had been to many emergency rooms that pretty much told me because I didn't have insurance and I couldn't work because I was in so much pain, that they weren't going to help me, and my hernia would have to become septic for them to do anything because I didn't have insurance. And that's not a place where anybody wants to be at any age at all. So it put a lot of stress and anxiety. Anxiety was probably something I
imagine.
Very difficult because I just never knew what move I'd make, what I would lift. And of course I was given prescriptions to ease the pain, but that was not an overall, it wasn't going to fix me.
Right.
It was just passing me on, and I felt depleted, and when I came to Tree of Life, I got a lot of hope, a lot of prayer, and a lot of help. And they walked me through a system where I didn't feel like a lost cause.
Wow.
And I could really feel God shining his light on me. And
Yes.
we had a doctor, Dr. Goodchild, and Kendall Bell, his assistant, who went to great magnitudes to help us, just like Dr. Clyett and Miss Tanja. She's been wonderful, like a mother, walking me through step by step. So it's become like a family here to me, the Tree of Life, because I just don't know where I would be or what circumstance I would be. And I had surgery finally in July, part of the indigent care system, thankfully, and I'm recovered now 7 weeks or so, and it's all become a wonderful blessing.
So they were able to provide the service and remove the hernia.
Yes, they had to put major mesh and tie in my abdomen wall because, of course, it was protruding. My intestines were protruding outside of my abdomen wall. And it was a very difficult surgery, is what was so beyond my understanding, is that it was a 45-minute procedure or so. And like I said, it could have costed me my life if my body had become septic or gone into septic shock. And I just didn't understand why I couldn't find help at 24 years old, why they were telling me that I had no options. That was it. Bye. Unless you have insurance, we can't, unless you can sign something guaranteeing that we're going to be paid, we can't help you. So.
Wow, that means that's a whole nother show. We need to find out who can we talk to and find out why. Why is it like that? Because it shouldn't be, but God had an angel.
You know, they say in the Bible that money is the root of all evil, and what I see more and more so is that if you don't have it, you don't get help. And I think that the medical field needs more compassion and empathy like we have here at the Tree of Life. And just to give the community more hope that this is not the end of their road. They don't have to give up, and they definitely don't have to do it alone.
And now you are bringing
Yes.
awareness.
Yes,
Because you're just educating me a lot on hernia.
there's so many more illnesses beyond a hernia and beyond, diabetes and just so many things out there that people are unaware of, and they don't know where they can find help.
Yes.
And they don't think that there is a chance and there is hope out there, and the good Lord is not going to let you go without, no matter what. He's there, and He provides people like the Tree of Life to help you and walk you through it. And I would love to participate and help give that word to the community as much as possible in any way, shape, or form.
Well, you're doing it. I am so proud of you.
Oh, it was
God
hard.
bless you.
No, God bless
this
him.
and see, this is what's happening here in Columbus, in our Tri-City area. Oh my God, I love this. There are a ton of other people that have the same story, share the same story. And I love the fact that God has a beacon of light, a beacon of hope right here in the hearts of the community. Wow. Stay tuned. We got some more great stories, real life stories here about what's happening here at Tree of Life. Stay tuned. It's Street Talk with Loretta Rose. All right, now I'm talking to Marcus McGee here, who also is a patient here at Tree of Life Healthcare. And this gentleman has a very unique story as well. but I'm going to let him tell his story. You know, we all have a story, but his story is so phenomenal. Every one of them is very phenomenal, but it's nothing like telling your own story.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yes, ma'am.
So thank you for your time. How
Thank you.
long you've been a patient here?
Been a patient here for about 5 months now. I came in, I seen the ad for it on the news station that they were opening up a sickle cell clinic, and we didn't have any here in this location. I was driving over 100 miles away to Atlanta in the Grady Hospital to their sickle cell clinic, and we didn't have one. So once I was no longer able to go there, I decided to do my research here because I really needed someone who specialized in the sickness, and that's something that we don't have. There's not much awareness going on. So in doing my research, I was, I found that they were opening up one here, and I came down and met all these wonderful people like Pastor Clyde and the wonderful staff here, and also Ms. Lois with the sickle cell clinic, and they got me in and gave me, they helped me out with different things and resources on how to find help, and led me right back up front actually to the Tree of Life, where they got me in with an appointment to see doctors and try to get the ball rolling on getting some treatment.
So you are from Atlanta? You lived in Atlanta?
I lived in it. I'm from here, Columbus, here originally, born and raised. I moved to Atlanta and then eventually moved back here once my my health started to go south. So I wanted to be here around family where, I had, more support. So,
So when were you diagnosed with sickle cell?
Originally, I was diagnosed at the age of 5 years old. I was diagnosed with it being acute going into severe, meaning that as I get older, it will get more and more severe. So,
what are symptoms? Because a lot of people are still getting educated. Like when you were younger, what were symptoms of sickle cell or something that you dealt with?
Well, at the age of 5, it's not much. A child at that age can really, let you know about what's going on. But from my parents, they were telling me that I would complain about body aches. And then they thought that I was suffering from broken bones because of the way, how severe the pains were. And I would go to the emergency room visits, and, I had many doctors not understanding sickle cell and not being educated on it tell me, well, he has inflammation of the lining of his lungs. That's why he's having chest problems, or maybe he just slept on his arm wrong, and we don't really know. So it took one doctor, his name was Dr. Leonard, I can remember that, who he took one look at me, looked at the color of my eyes, and said, does this child have sickle cell? And from that point on, I got tested, and the results came back, and I had a rare case of SC disease. So,
So you found Tree of Life Healthcare.
Yes, ma'am.
And I heard it has been a transformation.
Yes. Tree of Life. Ever since I've been coming here, I've just been, I've been feeling more positive about getting the help that I need, staying on top of things, and pretty much getting advice on how to stay hydrated and kind of keep from going into crisis, and at certain times of the year, because the times are worse when the weather and the seasons change, when it goes from hot to cold and cold to hot. So stress brings it on, and with me not working and being unemployed, not being able to get the care I needed, stress was once a big issue. So anxiety as well. So,
and from my understanding, you had insurance, and
yes, ma'am,
because of what life can be.
Absolutely.
Life can be life at times.
Right.
And you lost employment.
Yes, ma'am. My doctor, after I went into a sickle cell crisis, and I found out that I went blind in my left eye. So I was considered legally blind because of the sickle cell. I had an enormous amount of scar tissue damage formed behind my eyes, which caused a retina detachment, which caused for me to lose my vision. At that point, I had a corrective surgery, and coming back off from that surgery, I came back with work restrictions that was provided by my doctor, and my job could not comply, and decided to terminate me. So in that, I lost my insurance. Only the first part of the surgery was done. The second part was left undone. So that caused me to kind of form a cataract over the blindness. So it just got worse and worse from that point. Yeah.
Lord God, but thank God for
the tree of life. Yeah.
You know, this place is so amazing. That's why I am just so ecstatic about sharing these real life stories that are taking place. This is such a blessing, and I appreciate you, and I thank you for sharing.
I appreciate you for giving us a platform to be able to tell our stories on and give a testimony so other people can see this.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. See, you're getting ready to mess me up. You getting ready to mess me up.
No.
Because you know God is all the way around.
Absolutely.
It. You know, everything. Yeah. And now you are bringing awareness.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You are bringing awareness.
Yeah.
Now.
That's one of the things that I find joy in, because a lot of the other things that I worry about is people not knowing, especially in my community, my peers. You know, I don't want to just say that it's just black people, but it's people everywhere. Yes. But especially in our communities, you know, we don't have the help that we need sometimes, and it's mostly because we don't take the time to research it or try to find it if it's not readily available for us. So if it's not during a commercial, doing a TV show, Power or BET or the MTV Awards or something like that, we won't know about it. So I want to be, a person who gets the word out and spreads awareness and let people know that we do have help here.
You're doing it. Yeah. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
And what's your age?
I just turned 34.
You don't look it.
I get it all the time. I get that all the time. Yes, he is.
Keep on spreading the word, shining, telling your story, and bringing hope, because you have blessed my heart.
Thank you.
I am super proud of you.
Absolutely.
This is what's happening here at Tree of Life Health Care Service right here in Columbus. Dr. Clyett, as you can see, he's not only Dr. Clyett, but he's Pastor Clyett as well. Stay tuned. We have another story coming up after this. We're at Tree of Life Healthcare in Columbus, right across the street from Piedmont. It is Street Talk with Loretta Rose. You're watching it here on cable TV. All right, now we're talking to a final patient that is here sharing their story here at Tree of Life Healthcare. And I am so blessed, and I know those that are watching are very blessed as well. One thing I love about segments like this is what the people want to see. This is what the people want to hear. This is what's happening. So now we have Pastor Willis. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And you're a man of service yourself.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, we have a ministry on Mallory Road, and we try to reach out to the public any way we can. And we hope that this will be an opportunity that we can reach a little further out.
Praise God.
And because the Lord is opening up doors through the Tree of Life, and we thank God for them. Open a door for me.
Absolutely.
And I consider it a blessing.
And your wife, First Lady, Willis, she's here as well.
She's here, and I thank God for it.
Yeah.
She has been a blessing for almost 50 years.
I know.
Almost 50 years. So we just thank God how the Lord has blessed me and had me to run into good people in my life, as well as bad too. But we thank God for the Tree of Life.
Yes.
How it blessed me and others.
Wow.
The doors is open here at this place for people who cannot reach, even in my case, with medicine.
Okay.
And that was a sad case even for me. I would say this, that we started out with pills, being a diabetic, and it wasn't long before we got into insulin, and that run very expensive. And because it's very expensive, I made it the first few months or so, a year or so, with a charge card. But it got so expensive. And when it got so expensive, I maxed out my charge card.
That's realistic.
Yeah, I maxed out my charge card, and thank God for my daughter. She gave me contact with Reverend Clyde, and because I was about, because I didn't have no money, no more charge on my card, I said, well, I'm just going to do without insulin.
Wow.
That's just how bad it got for me. Because when you ain't got the money or the funds to get your medicine, you have to go without it.
That's right.
But the Lord blessed me to meet him here at the Tree of Life, and I was able to get my insulin, and I really praise God for that.
That's a blessing.
Because see, one thing about it, when you get so low, that's somebody somewhere got an opening for you.
Praise God. Yes.
And because of that, we happen to have people that exist, like the Tree of Life. And this is, I really appreciate it, because there are a lot of places you cannot get into. But now the doors is open.
Yes.
I can even say, even for me,
Praise God.
where I could get into it. So
Now see, I done got caught up. I'm supposed to be professional. No, look. But I'm just saying, because, I see the God in it, and I feel what you're saying.
Yes.
When some closed doors, God had
Open.
another one to
Oh yeah.
See, we're going to go to church in a minute. We keep on.
We keep this up.
We're going to keep on. But look, you now can come here
Oh yes.
and get medication.
Medication, and get really to get treated, to be taken care of.
Yes.
And so I really thank God for that, because I was about to stop taking it because I couldn't afford it.
Now
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
see, you're going to help somebody.
Yeah.
Because I have heard that before, where some people could not afford it, that because they couldn't afford it, they couldn't take it, and they just
Right.
gave up. But
Yes.
and that's not going to help you get well. That's not going to help any kind of way.
No, it wouldn't.
But thank God for someone that was able to be that light of hope for
Oh,
you.
yes. Oh,
And
yes.
there may be someone else that is struggling. Same place. Same place. Life happens.
Yes.
We can never dictate or predict how life unfolds.
Oh yeah.
But God, because of who you are and your service to the kingdom, He led you. And you have a wonderful daughter
Oh,
that
yes.
ministered to
Yes.
others as well. God brought that. He had it prepared, and He led you to it. But there may be some other people that are watching, and they want to know, this is real life.
Yeah.
There is hope.
There
And it's
is
a
hope.
blessing to know that
Yeah.
it's right here in our Tri-City area.
Yes, it is. By me being a minister, I might go into a scripture. I hope it be all right.
That's okay.
But the thing is, in St. John, the 14th chapter, it deals with let not your heart be troubled.
Yes.
And this place is open for those that are being troubled in their heart, feel like there's nowhere I can go. But now I have a place that will see about me. Because there are a lot of people just don't look like they sick
That's right. Yes, sir.
and don't have the insurance and things but they can come here. The troubled soul don't have to be troubled
It don't
no
have
more.
to be trouble.
You get
Okay. It's okay. But this is what, you know what? When I arrived and I saw the sign,
yeah.
Tree of Life Healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And when I end the show today, I'm going to ask Dr. Clyde about it. But I said, Lord, there's purpose in that name.
Yeah, it's real purpose because their life, now new life for people who didn't have that opportunity to get treatments, to get medicines. Now it's opened up to them because everybody don't have Medicare and the insurance, but here is a blessing for them to get the necessary needs.
Yeah.
Because I look at myself because I had a charge card and I was getting ready to use this charge card at a certain place, and it sounded humorous that I would say it this way. I went to Burger King and the card didn't go through at Burger King. Trying to get a $1 burger.
Lord Jesus.
It didn't even go
That's all
through.
right.
Then that let me know that my charge card is maxed out, and I'm running into some expensive diabetic medicine.
Yes.
Every month this medicine is costing big money
Yeah.
to get it. The needles and everything you needed as a diabetic to care for yourself. I couldn't no longer buy it. And I said, well, I made a decision. I'm not gonna no longer take it. But there was a door open.
Amen.
And I thank God for that door. And thank God for Dr. Clyde and his vision.
It's amazing.
See, the Lord gives men vision. This is a vision that was given to him. We as ministers, we have to see to those needs. And those needs were being met with him.
Wow.
And I was talking to some of my friends out, and I was just listening how the different ones were going through different diseases and couldn't get no help. And that was sad.
Yes.
Looking at a young lady that had an accident, she just looked like a picture of help. But looking at her,
Yes.
but what she was going through,
Going through. Exactly.
couldn't get no
And
help.
getting help, having the best of help, doing the best that you can, or trying to get health care.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a financial burden. I don't think that's my opinion. It shouldn't be that. But for some people,
Yes.
that's a reality. And this is, it's so many others. It's so many others.
Yeah.
But I know this show today is going to be a
Yes.
beacon of light and hope to others.
Yes, yes.
And I just pray that Tree of Life Healthcare will continue to flourish in all the things that this place has been appointed to do, because we're seeing the fruit of it.
Yes, yes. You know, in my younger days, going to the hospital nobody was turning around. As you in need, they would bring you in. But now it look like they'll make sure, do you have
Yeah.
the proper insurance to take care of your services financially.
Yeah.
But as when I was a younger kid, when anybody come to the hospital, they never was turned around. And sometimes they say that you got to go back to the old landmark. We got to go back.
Wow.
But we have the love for your people,
Yes, sir.
still a lot love for the pocketbook.
That's it. That's real.
But that's just facts.
Yes.
'Cause if we got love for one another, we would see to that need. Nobody shouldn't have to be turned around
Right.
from a hospital
Praise God.
because they don't have the necessary funds.
Right.
But as you in need, now we got a place now.
Praise God. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you all agreed to share.
Yes.
And I want to thank you so much.
And thank
because
you.
you didn't have to, but you want to pass it on.
Yes,
And that's what we want to do.
and that's very important. Open up the door and bring folks' attention to those needs. And when you do that, somebody's going to be blessed along the way.
Praise God.
There's someone out there crying right now saying that, where should I go? Tree of Life.
Tree of Life. You said it, Pastor.
Tree of Life.
I've enjoyed it. God bless you. Thank
God
you
bless
so
you.
much.
Thank God for you.
As you heard it from the pastor himself, open up the doors. And I will say, Reverend Cochran, he's a fan of the show. He said that before a while back, months ago. We got to start opening the doors
Yes, we
to the
do.
church.
Yes, we do.
I hope you all get in this message. This is the fruit of opening the doors,
Yes.
being a blessing in the community.
Yes.
We want to thank Tree of Life for allowing us to be able to highlight the great things that are happening here. And we want to thank some of the patients that shared today. We're going to get ready to do a tour so that you can see what we're talking about. And we'll be back after this. It's Street Talk with Loretta Rose. You're watching it here on cable TV. Welcome back to Street Talk. Of course, again, we are here at Tree of Life Healthcare. And Dr. Clyde is going to give us a tour, but I wanted you to kind of see when you come inside, this is the lobby area. I think it's very nice. It's very clean, too. Yeah, I'm very detailed, but they have it here. It is always so nice and clean. And again, the presence is just so welcoming, and I love that. Of course, come in. This is where I believe the patient signed in, of course. And we're going to meet up with Dr. Clyett, and then he's going to give us a tour on through. So, because I want you to be able to see when you come here. So, Dr. Clyett,
Yes.
we are ready.
Come on in, and this is, of course, when the patient check in there. They come around the corner here to the triage room.
Okay.
And of course, this is where we get their chief complaint right here.
Okay.
They tell us what's wrong with them, and of course, we observe that and take their blood pressure and do some other things as well with them. And once we get them prepared with the nurse's note, and we then go from there to the exam room. This is our pharmacy. What we do here, once the doctor make a diagnosis and prescribe the medication, we come over here in our pharmacy to see if we have it in-house, and if we do, of course, we give it to the patient at no cost. If we don't have it here, we look, of course, for the $4 list or the free list. And also, we also have certain patients that will qualify for a maintenance medication program through certain pharmaceuticals to help them with their medication. Generally, between 6 months and a year, we get them to a patient at no cost to them. From here, of course, we'll come around to the exam rooms. Nurse station here.
Okay.
And,
Nice.
we have several exam rooms. Of course, our doctors hang out over here in this room here.
Okay.
This is their special place.
Okay.
When they come and compare notes, and we also, of course, have several affiliations with several universities where we give clinical hours to nurse practitioner students. That's Duke University. We have one with them, and of course, Mercer out of Atlanta, Troy, and of course, Columbus State, and so because I believe in giving back. And those
It's obvious.
yes, those hours that they need for clinicals are hard to come by. So when we can, we want to work with those students so they can get what they need to get their degree, so they can go out into the community and give back as well. Behind you is one of our smaller exam rooms here. This is our first exam room.
Okay.
We have another. This is our large exam room here. Sometimes we do some procedures over here in this exam room here.
Cool. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. So you're partnering, you have doctors that
Volunteers. Right now, we have on staff practitioners that come in and volunteer.
Okay.
And what we do with those doctors and those nurse practitioners is they let us know when they want to work and how many patients they want to see. And we design a clinic around them.
Okay.
Because we want them to be happy, we want them to come back, and we are so grateful in this area here. We have practitioners, doctors and nurses who have a heart for the community and want to give back.
Wow.
And so it's been a blessing to us.
This is wonderful.
And this is our eye lab here.
Eye lab.
We're grateful to Dr. Calhoun, who's a retired ophthalmologist. He worked at West Georgia Eye Care at one time. He's retired now, but again, he wanted to give back to the community.
Wow.
And so I met him one day and we talked. He said he had sat down for about 6 months and couldn't stand it.
Couldn't stand it.
So he wanted to get back out, and so we're grateful for him as he come down and work with us, and I also work with Georgia Line Lighthouse, and they come down as far as working with him. And for those patients that qualify, Georgia's patients only because of their protocols, if they have a need for surgery, they see looking at network, and if it fits the qualification, the patient qualify. Most times we get the patient surgery at no cost.
Wow.
So that's another benefit there. We also work with several other eye labs here in Columbus when they come down. Lane Cross, they have one site program. Once we do the refraction and get the prescription, they can go out there, select their frame to get their glasses at no cost. Also want to give Almont Express also their due as well. I work with them. Of course, patients that come here, once they receive their prescription, we give them a letter to go out there. They get their single vision glasses at $20 and bifocals at $40. But the good part about that is because they have a lab on in-house, they generally get their glasses back the same day within 2 to 4 hours. And then, of course, Lighthouse of Georgia have a program as well where their frames at $10, which is a great selection, and then it's 7 to 10 days when they'll send the frame back to the patient.
Wow.
And so,
Oh, wonderful. This is wonderful.
This is another exam room here.
Oh, nice.
And
How many doctors do you have?
right now we have 3 that volunteer, and we have another doctor that has picked up a volunteer package last week. And so she have about 3 residents that want to volunteer as well. So waiting on that doctor to get back with the volunteer package and see what we can do with those residents as well.
Wonderful.
So we're grateful for her heart again for wanting to give back to the community.
Wow.
Around the corner here is our lab. It's when the doctor orders a certain panel, depending on what they want to order. Of course, we draw the blood here. We work with Quest Diagnostics, and we, of course, do the centrifuge there as far as spinning the blood down and getting it ready to go to lab. And generally, in most cases, we get the results back the next day. It all depends on what the doctor is ordering, but no more than 72 hours.
So you all pretty much have everything here. I mean, like, except you having surgery,
Right.
you go to the hospital, but
Yes.
I mean, this is wonderful. And it's amazing that this vision you had many years ago,
Yes.
but now look at it, how it has just come to fruition. I
And
imagine
just-
that's, and to hear stories from your patients, I imagine that is just so
Yes,
rewarding.
it is, and just to God be the glory. But we're so grateful again because this could not happen without a dedicated staff. We have a staff here that they're volunteers and put in 30 to 35 hours a
They
week.
volunteer too?
Yes, and so we're grateful for that as well. But our desire is to go to a full-time staff augmented with volunteers. But of course, that takes finances, and of course, we're hopefully that those that hear and see what we're doing today are willing to partner with us in that area as well,
Yeah.
and to be a partner with us. We do have a program on our website that you can go there at www.treeoflifehealthcare.org, and through PayPal become a monthly partner. That will of course help us to eventually bring on a full-time staff. Pay those individuals that have been so dedicated for the last 4 years, because again, God laid upon their heart to be a part of this vision, and it's because of what they do that really makes the clinic runs and work. I'm pretty sure if you walk through the building, you didn't see pictures of Christ on the wall of crosses and tracts or Bibles, and that was done purposefully, because I tell the staff that we are the Word made flesh. If they don't see God in us, what does it matter about a picture on the wall or a tract or a Bible? So when people come in here, we want them to experience
See
the
it.
love of Christ.
Yes. Oh, wow. You know, that's amazing, because when I came in, like I said, the feeling that I had, you can tell the presence of the Lord is here.
Right.
Not only you can tell it and feel it, you can see it. And not realizing what you just said, even though I know this is ministry, and you're right, you don't display it on the wall, you are the demonstration of it.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God.
That's what we wanted. So, and we're grateful again for all of those that come and just volunteer and give us their time and services, especially, again, our providers, our practitioners, just have a heart for ministry, want to give back to the community.
Absolutely.
And so we're grateful for that. You mentioned earlier about, we talked about where did that name Tree of Life come from. And really it comes from here. It's Proverbs 13:12. It says, hope deferred, make the heart sick. But when the desires come, is a tree of life.
Wow.
And so we know that the tree is in heaven is for the leaves are for the healing of the nation. And so from Revelation and also from the Hebrew, we
I love it.
come up with the name Tree of Life Healthcare.
I love it. And, and I understand, the word.
But,
And when I saw it, I said, I know there are greater meaning behind
Right.
this name
Right.
than just calling it the Tree of Life.
right.
Dr. Clyett, I want to thank you again for the ministry of medical service
Thank you.
here in the community. I pray that we see it in every city, in every state, throughout
Yes.
the whole world. I want the whole world to have this, because we don't understand and never can predict how life unfolds, but everybody deserves
They
to
do.
have an opportunity like this.
And we're grateful. In a nation it's as prosperous as ours, you would think that we'd be able to do that for any citizen. But God called us to fill the gap. and to stand in for those. And you know, when Cain slew his brother, and God asked him about that, he says, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Of course we are. You know, Cain had a different motive, but we are our brother's keepers. And you know, Jesus says that you've done to the least of those, you have done also unto me. And so we're called to be a help and an aid and a blessing. Well, that's also covenant, says Abraham, that we live in under that covenant as well. It says we're blessed to be a blessing.
Absolutely.
And so we're grateful that God has given us this opportunity to be able to give back to those that are in need. So we're thankful again for those that are listening today, that have a desire to help us help those that need our help and deserve our care. We're so grateful again for the time that you have given to us today to share what we're doing here at Tree of Life. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor.
bless
It's
you.
a blessing. Help, as we close out, let us know your hours of operation.
We're here from Monday through Thursday from 9 to 4. Every other Fridays from 9 to 12. And then we work sometime 1 or 2 Saturdays a month. Depends on the doctor and the practitioner as far as what we want to do. But we're here doing Monday through Thursday from 9 to 4.
Wonderful. And you're right across the street from Piedmont, the emergency room,
Yes.
pretty much. Do you know the number off the top of your head? The number to the office?
The number is 706-225-0355. The address is 1968 North Avenue, Columbus 31901. Again, that phone number is 706-225-0355. And you can also visit our website at www.treeoflifehealthcare.org. And please pray about becoming a monthly partner. Thank you so much.
Wow, God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Come on.
Bless you.
Oh, God bless you. Well, we've had a great time here sharing this good news. This is wonderful what's happening here in the community. Tree of Life Healthcare right here in Columbus. Dr. Clyett, again, thank you.
Thank
and
you.
to all the partners.
Bless you. Thank
God bless you. Again, you know how to become a partner. He just shared it with you. The doors are open here. We want to see everyone else that needs health care like this to be able to receive it. Find out how you can be a part of contributing to this great thing that's happening here. Thank you so much for tuning in with Street Talk here on location at Tree of Life. You're watching it here on cable TV. Until next time, you be blessed.